Welcome to League President Training. The League President is a vital position in helping make a league run smoothly. The President is the League's chief executive. As President, you've been chosen by the League to oversee and guide them through the League's season. Along with the respect of the position come certain expectations and responsibilities. Your fellow League bowlers have entrusted you to enforce all rules and regulations of the League and the review of the League finances. This is something that should not be taken lightly. The more prepared you are, the smoother the League will run and the more fun the bowlers will have. The following lesson will guide you through what the duties of the League President are and how to do them in order for you to be a successful League President. We've broken up this lesson into 6 sections: organizing leagues, keep the league rolling, committees, financial responsibilities, meetings, and season wrap-up. Organizing leagues. A league is governed by the board of directors, which is comprised of the league officers and team captains. The election of officers should be conducted at a meeting held before the distribution of league awards, unless the league board of directors decides that they are to be held prior to the start of the league schedule. All league officers must be members of USBC. More information on elections will be covered in the season wrap-up section. Thorough and complete league rules are the groundwork for operating a league smoothly and must be reviewed and voted on each year. A majority vote of those present and voting is required in order to adopt any rule. The organizational meeting is where the league adopts the rules, finalizes the team's roster, and makes decisions on any other matter that must be addressed prior to the start of the season. It is very important for the secretary to invite the appropriate body to the meeting. The league rules are adopted by the board of directors unless the league rules state the general membership. If the league rules are silent, the secretary needs to invite the officers and all new and returning team captains from the previous season. If the league rules require the general membership to adopt the rules, all returning members and any new members must be invited to attend. For the organizational meeting, since the number of teams or individuals in the league is unknown, a quorum is established by those present. The most important responsibility of the league secretary is taking minutes of the meeting. Meeting minutes should always include a roster of those present and absent, any motions that are made, who made it, who seconded the motion, and the outcome of any votes taken. The president presides over the meeting. A majority must be reached to adopt a new rule or change an existing rule. A majority is one more than half of the votes cast. For example, 25 people are present, 24 people cast votes, 13 votes are needed to pass the motion. Additional information on how to conduct meetings will be covered in the meeting section.
The organizational meeting is also a good time to tell the bowlers of the benefits of USBC membership. In addition to the bowlers getting a certified average and the ability to bowl in tournaments, membership also pays for bonding of the league prize fund, standardized rules, equipment, and much more. Members can also save money, earning back the cost of membership multiple times through USBC's Member Rewards program. For complete information on all rewards available to USBC members, go to Member Rewards under the Bowlers tab on bowl.com.
Once the organizational meeting is over, the league secretary will need to update the rules based on what was voted in. To ensure accuracy, once the rules have been updated, the league president should verify the updated rules before they are handed out to officers and team captains. USBC rules require all leagues to have a bank account. The president works with the treasurer to open an account. This account must be in the name of the league at an insured and recognized bank, credit union, or deposited with the center's in-house banking service. The account must also be set up to have the monthly bank statement sent to the president for verification purposes. In conjunction with opening an account, the bank should require an employee identification number, or EIN. While some banks might open an account using a social security number, the safest thing to do is apply for an EIN. If you use a personal social security number, any interest earned will be attached to that number as income. To receive an EIN, complete Form SS4 available through the IRS. The form can also be completed and processed electronically at irs.gov. This form does not have to be filled out every year if the league continues. When you fill out the form, do not check nonprofit, check View Additional Types, including tax-exempt and governmental organizations. Next, check Sports Teams Community. The program will direct you through the next steps and assign a number. League Startup. The first night of competition can be hectic. However, if the officers work together and prepare ahead of time, you can minimize the distractions and enjoy the first night of bowling with your teammates and league members. It's league night. It's a good idea to get to the center early to introduce yourself to any new team and members so they know who you are and to make them feel welcomed into the league. Prior to the league starting, get all team captains together to inform them of what was handed out, what they need to do with that information, and where you were bowling so that they can come and talk to you in case they have any questions. One piece of information that must be handed out the first night is the individual USBC membership applications. It is important the president verifies that the secretary has passed out membership application cards to each league member and collected completed cards and membership dues. Also, the president should verify that the secretary has forwarded the completed membership application cards, membership dues, and USBC league application to the respective USBC association secretary within 30 days of the start of the league. All leagues applying for USBC certification are temporarily certified at the start of its schedule for 30 days, counting the first day of competition, provided the application, along with the membership cards and dues, are submitted to the local association within 30 days of the start of league. USBC requires some personal information for the league officers on the league application, including his or her email address. Since USBC and its associations frequently communicate with league officers via email, please make sure your information is entered, accurate, and current. To ensure there is no delay in certification of the league, the president should make sure the league application is filled out entirely, accurately, signed, and submitted timely. On or before the 5th week of competition, a prize list or lists must be handed out to each board member in order to adopt a prize fund. The president is responsible for appointing a prize committee, and according to Rule 102C, the duties of the president, arranging to have the prize committee submit one or more prize lists for consideration by the 5th week of the schedule. Once a prize list is adopted, the league secretary is responsible for either posting the winning prize list in the center or distributing it to all board members. The winning prize list must receive a majority vote of the votes cast. If 3 or more prize lists were presented and a majority vote was not received after the first vote, the prize list with the lowest total votes is dropped and the remaining prize lists are voted on again. Financial responsibilities. Each week, the president should verify that the treasurer is collecting league funds, depositing funds, and paying the league's bills, including the lineage to the bowling center. All deposits must be made within 7 days of receipt. While the treasurer is responsible for properly handling the funds, it is the president's responsibility to ensure that the money is where it's supposed to be by verifying the account monthly. Verify means the president must not only determine the amount on deposit, but also do the arithmetic necessary to determine how much should be on deposit. To help make the job easier, USBC has a monthly president verification worksheet, which can be found in the resource area where you started this course or downloaded from our website, bowl.com/rules. This worksheet is to assist you in making this responsibility easier. We suggest you make several copies for each of your monthly verifications. There could be some variables when you determine how much should be on deposit. For example, the bowling center may only charge lineage by actual number of bowlers the first few weeks. Discrepancies may occur due to absentees or vacancies. Amounts may vary due to bowlers who pay bi-weekly, monthly, or even for whole season, but by verifying the pay envelopes, this can be accounted for. If the account is found to be short, the president must report the shortage immediately to USBC headquarters for possible action under the bonding insurance policy. Bonding, burglary, and holdup insurance. The USBC maintains a policy of bonding insurance for all officers of certified leagues. USBC leagues are automatically protected against $10,000 in misused funds provided the USBC bonding requirements are met. Misuse of funds is a shortage attributable to dishonesty by a league officer. If the league prize awards fund is going to exceed this amount, the total prize fund amount must be listed on the league application to receive additional coverage. The funds are also insured against loss by burglary and holdup when funds are taken from an officer or the center's messenger by violence or threat of violence or through the forcible entry into the premises or locked receptacle where the funds are kept. There must be visible evidence of forcible entry. The burglary and holdup insurance covers deposits of 1 week's receipts at any one time with a limit of $2,000 and withdrawals not to exceed an amount of $10,000 at any one time for a period of 7 days. As president, make sure your league does not withdraw more than $10,000 at any one time if your league has a prize fund in excess of $10,000. Also, since the burglary policy limits the amount covered at $10,000, only pay out $10,000 in cash and the remaining balance in checks. If the league members do not want checks, schedule separate payouts, keeping all payouts at $10,000 or less at any one time. All withdrawals, which include checks, must have signatures of 2 authorized officers. In addition, 2 members of an immediate family cannot co-sign for withdrawals. In order to be a signatory on the league account and bondable under the USBC bonding, burglary, and holdup insurance policy, all officers must be a minimum of 18 years of age, be a member of USBC, not have been convicted of a felony, and not have misused USBC funds in the past. Committees. Often, your success and the success of the league will be reflected in the tasks performed by the officers and the committees appointed by you. As you take office, you are responsible for appointing a prize committee and an auditing committee, as well as any other committees needed during the season. Always try to create an atmosphere where people feel free to share ideas and solutions. The prize committee was previously covered in the Keep the League Rolling section. The audit committee checks the treasurer's records at specified times to verify incomes, expenditures, and balances. The committee ensures the league funds have been deposited and dispersed as directed, records have been accurately and completely kept, and expenses have been paid. Also can be tasked with auditing league records, averages, and position standings. Although the treasurer cannot be part of the committee, the treasurer must be available to answer questions they may have while completing their task. Some additional committees to consider. Awards Committee works with the league secretary to complete the file award applications and present or help associations present awards to deserving league bowlers. A banquet committee makes arrangements for the league banquet. A nominating committee prepares and presents a slate of league officers for election, or a postponement committee, a committee that has the authority to allow or deny all requests for postponed or pre-bowled games, including emergency requests. Meetings. In order for a group to be effective, all of its individual members must get together to discuss business, solve problems, or recognize achievements. That's what meetings are for. A quorum is the number of members present for business to be conducted legally. Members present equals a quorum for a meeting prior to the start of the season. For all other meetings, a quorum is a majority. Many aspects go into conducting a successful meeting. When the president plans ahead, meetings are smooth and efficient. The president should prepare an agenda outlining scheduled business with the help of the secretary. Keep in mind that for all members to participate and hear, only one person should be permitted to speak at a time. Keep order by using common sense, courtesy, fairness, and cooperation. The president opens the meeting and the secretary calls roll of officers and team captains. The minutes from any prior meeting are approved. The president then calls for reports and discussion of all unfinished business. Board discusses and acts on new business. During the meeting, allow everyone to contribute and make sure all issues on the agenda are covered. A motion is a proposal to take a stand or take action on some issue. To make a motion, one member must state the motion and another member must second the motion. In taking the vote, the league has the following options: a voice vote, a show of hands, or a ballot vote. Officers may vote on all issues, and a motion is lost on a tie vote. If the president has not already voted, the president may vote to make or break the tie. Meetings bring together people with different ideas and experiences to reach solutions. They are necessary in order for the league to be effective. The organizational meeting was previously covered in the Organizing League section, and election meetings will be covered in our season wrap-up section. Here are some of the other more common types of league meetings. Protested or disputed games. The Board of Directors, by majority vote, may declare forfeits or null and void any protested or disputed games or have them stand as bold. Null and void. Action taken when it finds a league rule was violated, but mitigating circumstances were involved. For example, league officers or other authority may have misinformed the team captain. Forfeit, which is action taken when it finds a rule violated but no mitigating circumstances involved. Or stand as bold. After reviewing a protest, it is determined that there is no cause for action. The board is authorized to make decisions when games are protested or disputed. A written protest must be filed within 15 days of the series being bowled. With the exception of protests resulting from competition in the final 2 weeks of a league schedule, these shall be filed within 72 hours of the final date of the league schedule or the end of a segment if the league bowls a split season. The board's decision is final except when the local association or USBC receives a written appeal within the timelines of Rule 119. Non-payment of league fees. A league must conduct a meeting if an individual is charged with failure to pay league fees and/or withdraws from the league without sufficient cause. When a member is accused of the above, the league should try to resolve the matter prior to disciplinary action. Please see Rule 115B for the procedures the league must follow. Dismissal from office or league. A league board, Rule 115A, may dismiss a bowler from a league for misconduct or violation of USBC or league rules. If a league member files a written charge asking for the removal of a league officer or the dismissal of a league member, a meeting must be scheduled and the procedures in Rule 115B followed. Season wrap-up. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the season. One final meeting is necessary in order to distribute the awards and any prize money, along with electing the officers for the next season. According to USBC Rule 102F Item 4, prizes must be distributed within 21 days after the end of the league schedule, unless the board has set another time for distribution. More times than not, the league schedules the prize payment to be either the last day of league or at its banquet, which is usually a week or two later. According to USBC rules, elections shall be held before the distribution of league awards unless the League Board of Directors decides that they are to be held prior to the start of the league schedule. The League Board of Directors shall elect the officers unless the league rules vest this authority in the general league membership. The president should appoint a nominating committee which, prior to an election, develops a slate of officers from those choosing to run for office. Each league must elect a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. The office of secretary and treasurer may be combined. The slate should include one or more candidates for each office. In order to be eligible to be a league officer, a bowler must be a member of USBC, but does not have to be a member of the league they are an officer in. Each office has a separate election to enable an unsuccessful candidate for one position to run for another. The presidential election is first, with the vice president presiding. When nominations close, members should vote. Officers are elected by majority vote, and absentee and proxy voting are prohibited. The league president and candidates nominated for election are entitled to vote. Members should use written ballots if there is more than one candidate. Elections for other offices follow in the same manner, with the president presiding. If a candidate receives a majority vote, the presiding officer declares the winner of each election. Meeting minutes should reflect the number of votes cast and names and number of votes each individual receives. An election held before the league schedule ends takes effect once the season has concluded for the league. The current officers continue in office until the conclusion of the season, then the new officers take over. An election that takes place after the league season is completed takes effect immediately if the candidate is present and does not decline, or if they are absent and have consented to their candidacy. Elections are finished, and now it is time to hand out awards and pay out the prize fund. The Secretary distributes the year-end team and individual awards, if any. Copies of the final standing sheet are usually furnished to the team captains as well. Your last responsibility is to verify that the Secretary has turned in season-ending averages to the appropriate USBC local association before authorizing the Treasurer to make out Secretary's salary check. Congratulations, the league is done, and so are your responsibilities until next season's organizational meeting. So relax and enjoy the off-season.